this is another thing that might get me in a little bit of trouble, but this is where I think men have failed society so much, because evolutionarily, I don't know if you've ever read the book War Brides, but it was about French women who ended up marrying German soldiers. And it was saying that the Germans kicked the French, they beat them. Mm-hmm. And across 3 or 4 years, the French women, even though the Germans had killed their husbands, the Germans had money, they had provision, they were the power structure, they were respected, they were feared, they had wages. The French men didn't have anything if they were alive. And all the French women ended up going with the German men. And it's talking about how the power of these men were attractive, and no matter how much they were resentful for the fact they killed their husband, over time, women are more likely to just adhere to power structures because they can't defend themselves. So their self-preservation strategy is to adhere to a power structure. Their self-preservation strategy is, well, I can't fight. I mean, obviously exceptions don't disprove the rules. There were women who were part of the French resistance, of course. But in general, like, well, I can't fight. These guys are here. They have the guns. They won the war. They killed my husband. They're strong. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's how they kind of bend towards thing. And it talked about going all the way back to tribalism. When tribes would go and kill another tribe, they'd kill all the men who can fight, and they'd take the women. Mm-hmm. And the women can either bend to the rules of the new tribe or get killed. So it's like, well, bend to the rules of the tribe. So anyway, when you read this book, what he kind of concludes, he says at the end, is that women are going to adhere, whether they like it or not, in general, to the power structure they see as most fearsome and have the most respect for. If that's their father, they'll adhere to their father. If that's their husband, they'll adhere to their husband. If that's society, if that's Sex in the City and abortion and all this garbage and feminism, whatever, then they'll adhere to that. So when I say men have failed, I'm not attacking women here, I'm saying men have failed. Because I believe if you raise a daughter well, she doesn't want to scream about having abortions. Right. I believe if you raise a daughter well and you do your job as a man, she doesn't want to watch Sex in the City and be a whore. I don't think she wants to do that. I think if you're a good father, these things won't happen. So I think men are failing. I can even say now, you can call me a misogynist. They'll cut this up and call me a horrible person. If my girlfriend put something on TV, she wouldn't ever. But let's say she put Sex and the City on, I'll say, turn that crap off. Why? Because it's crap and I don't want to see it and you're not going to watch it. Turn it off. It's my job to protect your mind, to protect you physically and mentally. It's my job to protect. That's my job. I'm protecting you from all the garbage. And that's what I'm going to do.
We agree on that. 100%. Why do you want to put trash in somebody's mind? Just because somebody produces something, that doesn't mean we have to accept it or say it's great. Yeah, bring it into my house. I love it. But see, you say that and people, oh, you're a male chauvinist. You're trying to control your woman's mind. No, I'm not. Trying to get trash out of her head. The same way she might say that to me. Why are you watching that? Yep. Turn it off.
Absolutely. We care about each other. If you love anything, they call you hateful. So when you see this abortion stuff and you see all this insane feminism, you see all this LGBT crap, this is the failure of men. You're a man. Stand up and prevent anyone you care about being poisoned by this. Do whatever it takes. And there has to become a point where you're not lazy about it. I watched that guy try to reprogram his daughters in his car on YouTube. Okay, he did a good job trying to reprogram them. Why are they going to that school? Yeah. Why don't they move school? Oh, well, it's hard for them to move school. It's a long drive. Then drive them. then do what it takes. There's a degree of apathy and laziness. Right. There's a degree of fear of being called a bad name. There's a degree of fear of being a coward. There's a degree of fear of their wife telling them off. I don't know what it is, but they're allowing these huge power structures, these dominant forces, which you see all over the internet, all in the educational system, all in the media, all over Netflix, to get control of the women they care about and send them insane. And they're sitting there and watching it happen. Most men aren't raising their kids. The school and internet is raising their kids. YouTube raises your children. The iPad raises your children. What's on the internet? Well, a lot of stuff, good and bad. Yeah. You can't police all of it, right? You're busy, like you said, working your ass off for $1 trying to pay the bills. It's getting harder and harder. But I still think this is the failure of men. I'd really like to talk to one of these women if I ever get free from this and I ever do go to America. I can't wait to go to a feminist rally. I'll just ask them the question. I'll say, why are you so happy to murder children? Well, do you know who your father is? Like, let's just talk.